Yes, members, are we there? Okay, good. Let me believe you have had a nice supper and you are now ready for the class. Is it? Yeah, those who are in the lobby, those who have just entered, you can help to admit those in the lobby. And meanwhile, you can also get organized to have a class. Probably you can see some of them have already entered. Benson, you can see Willis, I can see the rest. Whoever is there, you can now show up that you are there. All right. Yeah, now we can start a class. We can now start a class. So we are starting a class. Are we there? We are there? So today we are having our unit of competence, and it is general building technology. Are you able to see my screen? Yes, our session title today is going to be setting out. Before I go up, who can tell me the meaning of setting out? Somebody to try the meaning of setting out? Yes. Yes, you can clap for that one. I think he has shown that he's reading ahead. Yeah, now, our class today, we are going to have the objective of the session. And at the end of this session, I will expect you to be able to interpret the working drawing. You will be able to determine the baseline, determine the datum point. You will also be able to set out a building as per the working drawing. And I will also expect you to be able to determine and mark up the trench width, foundation width, and the wall width on the profile boards. Like I said, the meaning of setting out, you can have it there displayed. I said this is the name given to the measuring out of the building, and it is part on the site. The positioning of the building is usually described as the setting out drawing, which are produced by the architect. The actual location can be indicated using the survey stations, road hubs, or related to permanent objects. Are we there? We are there. All right. So let's look at the general issue about setting out. Now, who can read for me that? Somebody to read for us that statement. Are you getting my slide? Yes, sir. You can read for me that statement. Yes, thank you. Now we can also move on and look at this setting out the building. I said to mark the position of the building, a series of profiles are used. Are we also seeing the same page? Anderson, are we on the same page? A profile consists of posts and a board as shown in the diagram. The advantage of profiles is that the position of the walls, trenches, and their thickness can be relocated at any time. To mark these positions, a string is stretched across two profiles using a level or a plumb bob. The positions can be obtained like we have described it in diagram 2. Now let's look at setting out a right angle. Are we at the same point? Are we at par? Are you able to see the screen? Yes, you can read the first paragraph to show that we are at par. The first paragraph. Benson, are we there? Setting out a right angle. Yes. So, who can read it now? We can say there are several ways of setting out a right angle. The most commonly used in the building we have two types or methods. One we have said the 3-4-5 method. Who can explain how the 3-4-5 method works? Who can try to explain how 3-4-5 method works? Yes, somebody? Okay, the baseline is marked 3 units along, and then 4 units and 5 units, one crossing the triangle to form 90. So the 5 units is the one that goes at it's now the diagonal. Then we shall have the 4 units one side and the 3 units one side. So you will adjust your ranging line until the diagonal line reads 5 units. And for this case, we are using units because I don't want to limit you on the unit that you will use. You can either put it in feet, you can either put it in meters, or you can still use it any other unit that you may want to have, as long as there are 3, 4, and 5. Another method is using the builder's square, and this is a triangle made from timber or steel with side length of 3 meters or 2 meters long. The triangle is placed in the corner and strings are stretched both ways. Like you can see, I have displayed there a diagram that shows the frontage line, which is the baseline, and also it shows us the corner square or the large square being placed at the corner. You are able to see it? Yeah, you can look at it. We have what we call our existing building. So we are measuring a given length from the existing building, and that's what we call the frontage line or the baseline. Then you can also look at that diagram. It's a diagram that is illustrating a peg that has a nail being driven in a peg, and it has a ranging line. A ranging line is just this line that shows the building positions, like you can see it. Then we have that diagram that is comprehensive. It is showing all the profile boards at every corner. Like I've said earlier, we shall put the profile boards at every corner, and that profile board, that's where we shall indicate our trench width, the foundation width, and wall width. So that is an example of a setup of the profile boards. Yeah, before I continue, somebody to talk about the profile board. What do you understand by the profile board? Again, you can tell us about the profile board. No one can try. All right, you will have your time and look at that diagram. Then probably you will be able to tell. So, briefly, you can also look at this. You can now be able to talk about the profile. So we said using pegging out has been checked. Profiles are set up clear of the trench runs and the positions of the ranging lines transferred to them, like figure 3 has illustrated. Profiles consist of horizontal boards fixed to posts or pegs, the position of the wall and the trench being marked on them by sockets or nails. Profiles are placed at all corners and at the end of cross walls, like figure 4 illustrates. The position of walls can be obtained from lines strained between them. So that is a diagram of a given setup of a building, and it's showing the placements of the profile boards, the ranging lines, and the baselines. Like you can see them. Yeah, thank you. Is somebody having a question before I can give assignment? Yes. Yes. You can ask. Yes. Our practical is the next lesson. In this week, you see we have 4 hours. So I have utilized the 2 hours for having a theoretical session such that I can introduce to you these concepts of setting out. And now again in my next lesson, we shall be able to go to the field and do a setting out. Any other question? All right, now you have assignment. And this assignment, I will need it done before we meet in our second session. Who can read that for us, that assignment? Who can read that assignment? Yes? Somebody to look at that assignment and read for us. Okay. We shall be able, I will require to explain the following methods of leveling aside. One is cut method, cut and fill method, then fill method. So you will explain the 3 methods of leveling. That will be the end of our presentation. Thank you. Oh, same to you all.
Thank you.